I'm Martin Cabrera. I'm the CEO of Cabrera Capital Markets and Cabrera Capital Partners, and wanted to speak to you about this Latino dynamic that's taking place in our investment community. And there is truly a paradigm shift taking place in our U.S. economy and with our U.S. Latino community. There's been an evolution of growth from what was in the past kind of service and government jobs now to increasing kind of education graduation rates and how that's impacting kind of our economy, but also Latinos overall. So in the next 30 years, there will be 18 million net new jobs created in this country, and 15 million of those jobs will come from the Latino community. And this will have a significant impact on our economy, but also our workforce and our children. So Latinos are entering into business at the fastest rate in our country's history. And the U.S. Hispanic Chamber has come out with their statistics of over 4 million Latino-owned businesses and their buying power of about 2.3 trillion. And the fastest segment of those 4 million Latino-owned businesses are Latina businesses. The call to action I have for corporate America is to recognize this $2.3 trillion buying power segment of the U.S. Latino economy and the tsunami that is taking place on the business side that will impact our GDP in the U.S. as well as so many businesses and households around the country. It's an opportunity to participate with Latino businesses, but also how it's going to grow your companies and the bottom line and increase your stock price. This is causing an awakening of our investment world. And our pension fund industry, which we deal with quite a bit, is about an $80 trillion market. So there's also kind of venture capital firms like Latitude Ventures and Chingona. Chingona is on Fund 2. They are investing specifically in Latino-owned companies. And I know even Claudia Edelman, she's starting up Hispanic Star Ventures, which those venture capital companies will go out there and invest in our Latino businesses because they see all of the growth that's taking place from food, from kind of consumer goods to professional services companies out there. And they are growing at dynamic numbers. When you look at our government and what's taking place and some of the bills that are up, we are estimating there will be $3 trillion in this Biden administration that will be put out and be put to work for infrastructure and Wi-Fi and broadband in several sectors. This is the biggest outflow of any dollars coming out of any city or state in our country's history. And it's something that as Latinos, we need to pay attention to. And I go to many conferences, and at all the conferences, we rarely talk about money in our Latino, whether it's for government or corporations. But that is what is changing the dynamics of this country. Some of those Latino businesses that have started up that are doing extremely well, when you look at those individuals and their backgrounds, whether it's a tortilla company, whether it's a money management firm or a private equity firm, we have a lot of things that are in common. Some of us have grown up poor or with modest means, but we built up our companies to be great, and not just great in the Latino community, great in the global economy. We have a certain work ethic and hunger as well that drives us. It's our grit that we learn from being in the neighborhood sometimes and having many roadblocks and obstacles put before us, but we have to kind of get back up and continue to persevere. But it is that competitive spirit that's allowed us to go out there and do great things and grow some major companies and scale those businesses. But that is actually causing a lot of attraction from the non-Latino community because they see how much growth is taking place. As our Latino population continues to attain higher levels of education, we are entering into professional services roles that are much different than were in the past. And that is happening especially in the last 2 decades. We are understanding where the money is and where it lies, and the power that it can have on our communities. We're creating more civic-minded CEOs and executives that have not forgotten where they come from, but are also getting involved and being philanthropic. It's looking to be successful from our Latino businesses, but it's also those that are giving back to their schools, to their kind of churches, to their neighborhoods, to the non-for-profits that we're involved with, but also creating jobs and scholarships and internships for those of our community as well, because they're going to hire some of those like-minded folks that are hungry and driven and are persevering kind of beyond all of those roadblocks that are put before us. What I'd like to tell folks and those in the non-Latino community in the business side, and when I explain it to CEOs and executives, that there is a Latino tsunami taking place in this country. And it's our buying power that is driving major change. And when you talk to any major CEO, whether it's AT&T or Verizon or Coke or Pepsi, it's the US Latino buying power that is changing the dynamic and the growth within their companies. So they are paying special attention to it. And as we have more folks that are becoming doctors and lawyers and engineers and going into the tech industry and financial services, those individuals are going to start their own businesses and they're going to need capital to grow. So those pension funds are looking at those opportunities to see where this dynamic growth is going to come from, and they're going to benefit from it as well. But I think as Latinos, we're starting to realize the wave, and not just the corporate sector, but it's also in the government sector of what's taking place. This whole wave of buying power that's going to continue to grow, and faster than any other minority group or ethnic group in the country, it's catching on. And corporate America is realizing that. And we need to keep persevering as well. Regardless of any negative dialogue that may be brought up about our community, we'll be successful and shape our country. You cannot stop the growth and advancement of the US Latino community. And our future is burning bright, and people want in. What I'd leave you with is a little saying, and that is, anyone can create a buck, but it takes somebody special to make a difference. And we can do both in our Latino community. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate all the time, and much success to the rest of the summit as well.